All right, welcome back to My Life, Sam Radford. On this episode, we have my biggest interview to date, if you're talking to me, Sam Radford, because I've been a fan of this guy since about 2007 when my older brothers would go to Halifax. I grew up in Nova Scotia, and they'd go to these events called the Elements League, and I had never heard of them. And then come to be that I'm a big fan of battle rap, and the biggest battle rapper in the world, in my eyes, is Pat Stay, this man that I have on today, Dark Side Zone, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Angry Rob, Sucker Free Boss, just too many things. Sorry, the intro might not be the best because I'm kind of frazzled myself, but thanks for being on, Pat.
Angry Rob. Fuck you.
That's
Unreasonable Rob.
Unreasonable. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, sorry, bro. See, that's what I'm giddy right now, bro. If people are just listening on audio, I'm wearing a t-shirt I bought from Pat 10 years ago when I couldn't even e-transfer. I had to get his TD bank information. But
Wow.
I was looking back, man, and I've been messaging you since 2009, like
Wow.
pestering you if you were going to battle Marv 1 and shit like that.
Wow.
But yo, thanks for being on, man. And my first question is like, what was it like for you growing up in Dartmouth, man?
First of all, thanks for always being a supporter. Like, if there was like a top, 10 names that I remember from always supporting, you would definitely be one of them. And that's greatly appreciated because, it's so cliche to say, but I'm nothing without the fans. You know what I mean? And I always say, like, there's gonna be one day where I wish someone would hit me up and be like, big fan, because that'll eventually fade. You know what I mean? And like, so I might have like taken it for granted over the years sometimes, where I'm getting so many messages and so many people coming up to me. I'm like, oh, I'm busy, but then I'll probably regret if I don't thank you and all the other people for supporting me for so long. So thank you.
Of course, man.
How was it in Dartmouth for me? It was cool, man. It was fine. Like, my childhood was it was fine. Just like anyone else, really. You start to go different ways, trying to, find who you are. And, sometimes, the right crowd, sometimes the wrong crowd, sometimes you indulge in, shitty stuff. Sometimes you find your stuff, you know what I mean? Like partying and just immature shit. But in the end, it all leads to molding you as a human, and it really it's like you can just go one way or the other. And even back then, when I was surrounding myself in certain environments and around people, and I knew that I was gonna, like, I would be all right. You know what I mean? I'd be all right. Some people I might have been around, I'm like, oh fuck, man, I can't see him not, fucking up and, maybe going away for a long time or something like that. But me personally, I always kind of, I always foreseen something positive for me. You know what I mean? I guess, like, it's like almost like they say a fly on the wall, be like a fly on a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like, I'm around, sometimes I would surround myself with certain environments, but deep down I knew that I would, be something and make it out of that little shitty hole that I felt myself in sometimes. But I think that's really average. You know what I mean? I wasn't super bad, and I wasn't, it wasn't super square, but yeah, it's end of the day, I became exactly who I wanted to be, and that's just like a role model for my son and just like a good man, for my kids.
Yeah. That's a really good answer. And you know what? We're gonna redo an intro, but I don't do any editing. I'm just gonna say Pat Stay, battle rapper, entrepreneur, actor, funny guy, angry guy, humble guy, dad, hero, Pat. But yeah, so Pat, what was it? When did you fall in love with hip hop, man? Because you were at a young age battling when like this stuff was just like at its like infancy stage for the modern era. But like, when did you fall in love with rap? Because I know you're a big West Coast guy too.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have like older brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So, I got to listen to what they were listening to. And so it was probably super early, man. Like, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, like 5 probably, you know what I mean? I was definitely listening to rap at 5. I specifically remember listening to at least Vanilla Ice and shit like that. And like, I think like Eazy-E and like, Bone and Snoop and shit like that when I was really, really, really young. I'm pretty sure Snoop. So I was blessed with that because I had, you know, older brothers and shit. Um, and then yeah, I just found a love for it. I was really into R&B too, man. I still am. You know, R&B was definitely big when I was young. There was a lot of Michael Jackson in my house. Billy Ocean. My father was a bass player, so he always had his band over, and they were pretty successful. And so that's probably where the funk came from the West Coast shit, because they're really funk based music. So music was in my house a lot. And I would spend hours and hours with my headphones on, just on blast, probably why my hearing's so fucked right now. But um and uh and yeah, I would just memorize, and it just kind of like molded me as a person. And then as I grew up, I didn't really start writing raps until high school, which was I think maybe grade 9 or grade 10. But I remember specifically like writing them in grade 10. I was really inspired by my favorite rapper at the time, who was named as Trey D from the East Siders, and I was writing, and then I did here and there. I don't know why I did, because no one around me was writing, which is weird. No one around me was writing raps, but and then I moved to a different place. We moved out from Dartmouth, and I met people that were rapping, and that was so intriguing to me because I was like, fuck, man, I always kind of wanted to do this shit. And there was like a group of them, and he let me on his little, you know, ice cream cone mic, you know what I'm saying? And I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with it very quickly. And the next thing you know, I'm recording like fucking 10 songs a day at my house, man. It was really dope. I know I went really far with that question, but I might have answered other ones during, you know.
No, that's what I love, bro. That's like what I want. It's more of a conversation, you know? So
Yeah.
so when, like, I'm sure you probably, in every scenario, you rap in front of people, you get that reaction, you want to chase that high. So
Right.
when does this whole Elements League come about? And when did and how did it come to be? Because some of the biggest legends in Canadian rap are from that league, you know, and like from Quake to Chronicle to you to Gary and Jesse Ito and all these funny characters. But like I remember I had an interview with Direct. Sorry, I'm a bit long elongated with my questions too. I had an interview with Direct.
Did you just call Jesse
Just
Ito?
that's why I'm fucking up. Okay, just let me go.
I think you just called Jesse Ito a Canadian legend.
Well, Direct
Shout out Jesse
Williams.
Ito. Shout out
So
Jesse Ito.
so
You know what I'm
I,
saying.
I made a joke because I was talking to Direct and he was talking about finding the Elements League and hearing about Holohan and you. And then I made a joke about how come you didn't say Jesse Ito. And he was like, oh, shout out Jesse Ito. So I was trying to be a play on that. But yeah, man, sorry. How did like it come to be with this Elements League? Because Elements League is like the Mecca.
Well, I mean, obviously we got it from, so it was like branded probably off of Smack and World Rap Championships and shit like that, because, you know, that, I don't know about Smack. I don't know if it was, yeah, it was Smack, like Mook versus Serious Jones and shit like that. That was around before Elements League. But World Rap Championship was freshly new. I think it was like 6 months before or the year before or something like that. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know. All of a sudden, they just started a rap battle league in Sackville, or they just had like one show. I don't know. I don't think they even planned for it to be a league. They just threw a battle outside of a school, Casper versus Lex, and it was a success. People liked it. So then people were talking about it on this website down here, and they were like, "Pat," or I was like, "I want to do it. Fuck it, I'll do it." And yeah, we all met up outside. Wasn't much preparation whatsoever. I didn't really know my opponent. He didn't know me. Shout out Critical Tremaine, man. He's a great guy. And then it just went down. It just happened. It was way more organic back then. It just happened, you know. And I was the second battle of the whole league, I think, or maybe third. But either way, yeah. And then it popped off like more than any of the battles. Like actually, Casper and Quake battled before me. I think so too. But my one with Critical seemed to pop off like a lot. I remember when I did it, there was only like 50 people in the pit, or maybe 60, 70. And the next thing you know, there's hundreds of people all crowded around, like from the outside on the railings and shit outside. I was like, man, what's going on here? And it was huge. And then it hit YouTube, which was generally new at the time. And you know, you only put one round up at a time because you can only upload 10-minute videos. And it blew up on YouTube. It was like taking off. And I was like, holy shit. and it became really popular. Like the things that I didn't even like, I don't even know if I was saying sucker free boss. Like before then, I know I was saying sucker free and boss and all this shit, but I just said it. And next thing you know, it's like the most popular fucking phrase in Dartmouth, and everyone's rocking sucker free clothes and everyone's sucker free and everyone's, you know, this and this and that. And it just like started this like this trendy, I don't know, and like, you know, there was this movement that was like, oh shit, something's happening right now, and it's not just me being a young like delusional rapper where you think you're just a man. The views were going up, the popularity was going. Direct, correct. I remember he hit us up. Organic, he hit me up after the Elements League was dead, and then he's like, "You want to battle here?" And I was like, "Not interested anymore." And then the more he asked me, he got me to battle Bartone, and then fucking, I'm so thankful for that because he kind of revived, you know, my love for it, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. And like that's the big thing too. Like if that didn't happen, where would we be today? You know what I mean? Like, but I think it's so crazy because for me, right, I didn't clue in about battle rap crazily. I was still young, but I was watching the Elements Leagues battles on YouTube. And then I remember like 2 years later watching King of the Dot and becoming a big modern battle rap fan, and then going back to Scribble Jam and
Well,
WRCs
it was grind time first. Well,
yes.
Elements League.
Well, yeah, but I first found out about King of the Dot because of like
Right.
Canadian rappers, and then I got into Grind Time, and then I get into all the history, right? Like, so I've interviewed a person from every part of WRC 2007 other than Australia, which is kind of cool to me as a fan. Like, it's just crazy to see how all you guys, it's just like the in the like, you know, we just had it's August 4th. We just had the Locks versus Dipset. And it's just
Yeah.
crazy to see how these people and these communities stay together for so long. Like battle rap is so worldwide. You're always going to
Yeah.
find somebody who can relate to you on battle rap. Like I got weed in England because of battle rap, because my granddad lived in Manchester, and in the intros they used to have where they lived. So I'd hit these people up like, "Hey, I'm a fan of battle rap. Can I get weed?" And like, so what I want to say to people is like Pat is just like such a legend in this regard, and he went on to do King of the Dot after Grind Time and King of the Dot were early, and Pat went on to battle around the world. He's battled Hollow to Dawn in England. He battled one of like my favorite battles of yours is the first Massacre event when you battled Calico. That was insane, and just like bringing your buddies from the East Coast. Like I always remember seeing your one friend in the videos behind you, and he had the braids in that video. And and I was just like, that's what I was a big fan of in battle rap too, is you always look for the people in the crowd. And that's why I loved like when the Elements League got revived and you were there for FOF and stuff like that. And just so we'll break it down a little bit. So you started with the Elements League and you didn't really know your opponent, but then once it got bigger, it seemed people knew each other. And what I found about you, loving you early on, was you had these angles when like battle rap was still infant stage with the modern era. You had the angle against Jesse Ito where you had the t-shirt made, or you had the angle against Gary the plumber. Was it because you were so comedically engaged, or what was your mentality so early on doing this thing that is now what battle rap is?
I mean, there has to be more than just rhyming. Always, everyone, you know, some people in battle rap are like, well, it's called battle rap, so it's just about rap. Well, if it was just about the words, then we would just do it over disc records. I believe that I was the first person to, I could be wrong, but I brought out a prop through a tampon at my opponent, my first opponent ever. I didn't see any props before that, but I'm sure maybe there was, but like on video, I never seen any. So I always wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate this. Make it more than just rhyming. Now I don't want to make it like a clown show or anything like that, or make it all about like gimmicks or anything like that, but you have to think outside the box, especially, you know, with angles and things like that. Like for example, you know, I brought the shirt for Jesse Ito. That was funny. I thought he looked like an anteater. I put an anteater on the back of the shirt. There was also other things. That the reason why we battled in the first place is because I threw him in a lake. I'm not proud of it, but he tried to battle me at a party, and I kind of threw him in a lake or whatever. And then he wanted revenge. He wanted to battle me and stuff like that. I'm not sure why, but it was what it was. And so that built to the story as well. Shout out to Jesse, man. He's a good kid. I've seen him not too long ago. For Gary, back then, which is really funny to think about it now, but back then, 29 years old as a rapper was old. And now the average age of a battle rapper is like 35. But that was my angle. It's like, okay, he's an old man. He likes to wear his hat sideways and stuff like that. Tags on his hats, you know, big old clothes. It was just really, really funny. You know what I mean? Even to this day, I do like to pick specific opponents, not easy targets, but people that like intrigue me to write angles, because just rapping it's not like mentally stimulating enough to me to just write raps against someone for this long, especially nowadays. You write like 20 minutes for your fucking opponent, and if I don't have like a really interesting angle I can approach, I'm not really into it. You know what I mean? So there has to be more than just your "I'm better than you," "I'll do this to you," "I'll fuck your woman," etc. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think too is like you also your lines, like sometimes they're not some crazy scheme, but they're always so memorable. Like right now, just thinking of it, I'm thinking about it was summertime, there was butterflies, and your mother died. Or when you had like the white Snoop Dogg, I can moonwalk with steel toe boots on. Like that's
Yeah,
something that was said in my friend group for years and still, for you know what I mean? Or like sucker
yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah.
That's as you said, it's just like, so I think that's kind of, I'm
Moments,
moments. Yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
Like even like people that are so naive to think like they don't matter. Like, okay, I'm not saying Cassidy is, but Cassidy, he's always like, yeah, it's about your bars. All these people are talking about this and this and that. It's all about just the rhymes. I'm like, bro, your most memorable moment is you saying, "Where was I?" And he even put it on T-shirts and made merch from it and stuff like that. That's not a bar. That's just you saying something. Sometimes a bar can create a moment. It doesn't have to be something goofy, but it's thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? It's just, so yeah, moments are, you know, they last longer in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? They just do. Like, Lux versus Calico, that third round is way more memorable, and all the rounds except for the first, more memorable than just, it's the angle he took, the way he approached it, the attitude he had. You know what I mean? This stuff matters so much just because we're on video, man. We're not doing it over songs. We have to take advantage of the fact that we're on video. So capital.
Yeah. And what I reference to that is I always say battle rap's kind of a lot like wrestling in a sense, whereas you have these characters, right? And you kind of know what to expect from certain people, and you're always looking forward to that too. And that's what I loved with battle rap. All the leagues kind of battling each other is when you had the versatility of people who you thought would never battle before battling one another, right?
Right,
And
right, right.
so like, what was it like for you when you got like the first call to battle outside of Canada?
Sorry, man. I'm trying to change something.
That's fine,
Virtually.
man.
Take out the blur. It's fucking weird.
But yeah, so just what was it like for you? Because like you already battled around Canada and you had to travel to Toronto from Nova Scotia, but it must have been pretty cool for you and pretty, this is something else. Like maybe I'm getting more out of this than I expected. I'm not too sure, but
It's fucking weird. Sorry, ask that question again, man.
just what was it like your first time battling outside of Canada? Like when like somebody other than King of the Dot hit you up?
I forget who I battled first. Oh, I battled in Sweden, I believe. That was really cool, man. It was dope as fuck. Yeah, it was a huge experience. We stayed in a really great hotel. I got to meet some of my idols at the time. You know what I mean? And battled in front of a crowd that, was. I was surprised that they even knew who I was. You know what I mean? So that was a big eye opener as well. Like, holy shit! Like, they know me around the world, and it's still to this day. Like sometimes where I'm like, when certain people know who I am, I'm like, this is cool. Like, you know me. You know what I mean? It was an eye opener. It was it was a push for me. You know what I mean?
And then so upon that, what's your like a weird interaction that you had with a fan in a certain area that you wouldn't have maybe expected? Like,
Mm.
was there ever just like you're in the bathroom and somebody just like, hey, Pat, or like you're just an unexpected, you're just relaxing, chilling, or maybe you're out for dinner or something?
Oh my god, that fucking happens all the time. I'm just trying to think of Yeah, no, that happens too often for me to think of. I'll probably think of one after this, but no, it happens all the fucking time. Shit you just don't expect, man. It's
That's
yeah.
just people like you don't pitch your movie in the bathroom. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, dude, can you wash your hands so I can shake your hands? You know, like I know you're taking a piss right now, but
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh no. It's the weirdest one would be like when guys want me to like fuck their girlfriends because they're fans. And I'll be like, we're like, you want this more than her. I'm like,
that's
no.
fucking weird.
Oh yeah, no, that's like that happens, man. Even when I wasn't famous or shit, like when I battled at King of the Dot one time, I think I just battled probably Hollahan, but like or before that even maybe. And a guy came up and said, "Man, will you sign my girlfriend's tits?" And she's right there. And I remember being like, "Bro, come on, man, have some self-respect, bro. Don't sign your girlfriend's tits, man. Come on, man, that's your woman, right?" And he's like, "Come on, man, please." And I was like, "All right, I did it." And then he goes, "I'm gonna come on those later." I was like,
Holy fuck, dude. That is so weird, man.
"Yeah,
Hence,
no,
hence why women weren't around during battle rap, probably. That would have been it. Like imagine if I had like my girlfriend not into battle rap at all. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like she
yeah,
knows of you because she's from New Brunswick and like
yeah,
her
yeah,
uncle was a DJ and he did a song with Quake and stuff. But like she wouldn't even just I would if I were to go to a battle event, I'd just be like, all right, babe, have a good night. Like I wouldn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
bring her. Like she wouldn't even
No,
enjoy it, you know?
no, of course not.
That's such a funny, weird thing, man.
And that
But
happens. That shit happens, man. It's just like people are just weird like that, man. I get approached sometimes or messages, some like right in person. Sometimes I'll get approached about it, and I'm like, I'm good, bro. Like, like even if I was like single, like I just wouldn't do it because you want it more than her.
yeah, that's so fucking weird. What the fuck? Okay, I didn't know, but there. That's a weird interaction. There you go. I was asking for a weird interaction.
Oh
I
my god,
got
countless,
that's
countless, dude.
that must just make you feel disgusting too, right? Like, ew, why did this person want to do that? Like,
They're just
or
such big fans and stuff like that. Some people are just like, yeah, man. Like, I have countless dudes who have been like, yeah, I'm such a big fan. Like, like I would let you do whatever to my girlfriend and stuff like that. Like, even if I wasn't there, like you know, it's just like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, why? So you can come back and be like, what was it like? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
that is just to me that just and I also like when you go to home to your homies and you're like, yeah, yo, Pat fucked my girl last night. Like, do I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
do I get clout points off that? Like, what?
Like, oh my god, he fucking destroyed her. You should see her. Like, she can't even walk. Soccer free, boom.
Oh, she left me because he had a bigger dick.
Yeah,
He's
oh
sick,
my god,
man.
so worth it.
That's so fucking weird, dude. See, for me, like as a fan of you, I'd be like, hey man, you want to like get John's lunch or something like that? You know, like
Yeah, yeah, just the normal stuff. Yeah, just stupid. It's some fish and chips, not fucking.
hey
You
man,
know.
do you want to give my cat a fade? Like,
Yeah.
so Pat, like I want to go through the battle rap because like obviously everybody knows you're the one of like the top five ever. You know what I mean? Like you're like the like the Jay-Z kind of. But what was it like being the champion runner for you? Like being the KOTD champ and like how invested were you into that and stuff? I remember actually I gave you dirt on somebody you battled
Oh,
when I was in like college. You ended up showing him. He's never going to be on my podcast. Sharon, he fucked an ugly girl at a party of mine once. I told you about it. You sent him a screenshot, and my relationship with him has been ended ever since.
yeah. That honestly, man. Anyone that like,
It's
and
my
that's
fault for being immature. That's my
no,
fault.
but that should tell you because I know you and you've been a supporter for mine for a long time, and I still sent him that. If my opponent, like I've done that so many times to my opponents, I've done that to numerous opponents. Like somebody will tell me dirt, I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to them. I'm not looking to. I might have said fucked up shit in my battle, but I'm not gonna say things that might affect your actual life. You know what I'm saying? Or like just like certain dirt. And I've done that a million times. So and you're not a stranger. So just that's just that
Well,
says a lot because
looking
I'm not.
back, looking
Some
back
people
now
are
that I'm
really, some people
sorry.
are really into it, man. Some people are like, oh, looking for dirt. I
Mhm.
think that's corny, man. I just, I'm, but no, listen, man. I appreciate you reaching out. That was funny. I probably like should have said it to him as a joke, like behind closed doors. But I don't know the situation he's in. I don't like to dig like that. As
No,
much as
the funniest thing was it was just me being an immature fan, right? Like now that I'm interviewing you guys, like it would never be any beef or any drama either. That's the biggest thing too. Like when I interview a certain person, say if there's been like some kind of drama within the community, like I'm never going to touch on that subject, right? So like looking back, I'm like, fuck, I messed up a few bridges before I could even try to
No,
you know what I mean? Like
Sharon won't care, man. Sharon's mad cool. He'll laugh about it with you, man. Or I'm sure now he's a super.
After I have a funny insider for you, some random like 40-year-old dude who's been involved with battle rap forever. He found out about my podcast and tried to air out a bunch of shit that I'm not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to spread a positive light on the community. And it's weird. You'll probably have a chuckle. But anyway, to get back to your title run, like how invested were you? Because the thing is, I always found with you battling, it was just like it was going to be a big event no matter what. So I don't like, in my eyes, it didn't matter whether you were in a title match or not, because it was going to be the biggest battle of that event. But obviously as a fan, I loved you being the champion too.
I think you're doing yourself an injustice by not having your camera. I'm just realizing this right now, facing toward like away from your window and get good lighting so people can actually see you. Like
the whole time I thought that was the better idea, but you're so right. I can't believe that 23 episodes in.
That's better now. That's better now, right?
But Pat, that has taken me 24 episodes, my friend. Thank you for being you. Appreciate that.
You got it. What was the question again there, Whistle Dick?
Yeah, fuck you. It was just like, what was it like for your run of the champion? Like, did you care about it? How invested were you for being the champion?
It took me a while to accept the battle in general, because like I always said, nah, I don't want to be the champion. I don't want to be the champion, because I already was the champion, man. Everyone knew that. No one was like, oh, like I already was the champion of King of the Dot. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't think I had anything to prove. And sometimes when you like go for then there's all these other attachments and stuff like that. So I was like, no, I'd rather still just be the lead up champ that everyone's waiting for. But then when I accepted it, I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. And then so I knew I was going to smoke Arcane. Everyone knew that, man. You know, it was inevitable. Like when I said to the crowd, if whoever wants me to win this battle or whatever, be the champ, Canadian champ, make some noise, and everyone in the building went nuts, right? That said it right there, bro. It's my time. So I took it. Who was next? Daylight? That was so stupid.
Yeah, that was something else.
And not even from what he did or whatever. Like artistically, I respect it. I think it's cool that he did that, because he knew he was going to lose anyway. Obviously, battling me in Canada, but yeah, I think that was around the time when names were more important than matchups. And Daylight, it was just stupid. That was dumb. And then I battled. Who did I battle next? I won 4 times. Sharon, he was the last one. Arcane, Disaster was next.
Yes, that was it. That was the third.
I respect Disaster because someone told him dirt about me, and he told me before the battle too. And that's what, honestly, that's what a real man does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, you don't want to, it depends. If you believe in yourself as a rapper and a battler, then you don't have to like say shit that's like gonna rub the wrong way, because it's just, I don't know. Anyways, moral of the story is, it was nothing anyways. It was stupid little shit that we laughed about. It really wouldn't even have been impactful. I'm only bringing it up because of our prior conversation. But that was kind of easier than I thought, because me and him had a good relationship. So he was friendly, and the friendly Disaster is only like a quarter, maybe an eighth as dangerous as an angry, determined fucking to kill you Disaster, right? So that was kind of, it was what it was too. I knew I was gonna win that. Daylight, that was stupid. And then Sharon was the biggest one ever, man. And I probably haven't tried for a battle as much as that since. And I did not want to lose to Sharon. I did not want to lose to Sharon.
Yeah, no, and that was a huge, I think at the time too, probably during that time, biggest Canadian battle ever, right? Like, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've gone on to just do like these phenomenal things. Like I had Dirtbag Dan on, and we spoke about you battling No Shame in Battle of the Zay, and like who'd have thought like that was No Shame's like second or third or fourth battle, and like
what did he say? What did he say about it?
He said you're the greatest ever, and like he talked about how it was so amazing that you were just like, I'll do it. Yeah. Like he was like, because like we spoke about like when I mentioned you, he was like, yeah, he's probably the best battler ever. And so for him to do that is amazing. And that's kind of what I loved about the Bots League during that time. And I was a huge fan of the Dirtbag Dan podcast as well. So that was a big part of like my late teenage, early 20 years as well.
I love Dirtbag Dan, man. He's cool. I love him. He's a great guy, man. I really, really like him. I was hurt because and I'm just saying this live, doesn't matter. I love him, man. We had such a good, relationship. Not that we talked every day, and then some battle rappers were sending me stuff, and like, oh, he's saying this on this show and blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't believe it, and I still to this day don't believe that he had anything bad to say about me, because I don't believe things until I see them myself. And it's not his character. He's a stand-up guy, and we've never had anything but a good relationship. So I was glad to hear. That's why I asked, what did he say? I was just like, I guess I was just kind of like, I hope that's not true, or like whatever. So that's great, man. I love Dan, man, and I appreciate him bringing me out there, and the hospitality was great. I brought my girl at the time, and she had such a great time. She liked him a lot too. And he just made us feel at home, man. It was a great time. Shout out No Shame as well, man. She's a great person, man. We were still in contact. I still say what's up to her here and there and whatnot. And, you know what I mean? We have dick contests and shit.
But no, yeah. What I loved about that battle too is how No Shame, literally, like No Shame, she just went the fuck in. Like I would be so scared if I was battling one of the biggest people in the world at my early stages of battling, But that was cool too with
She
it,
was scared. She was scared.
Oh yeah, but she did it at least. I probably wouldn't have showed up, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so battling like Pat's he was in Bodied, the movie. I had Twist on. Twist spoke about having you in that. Everybody, dude, you're the GOAT. You're goated. Don't fucking worry about it. But anyway, let's talk about what you've been up to recently with you're doing ads for a local, is it insurance company?
No, it's a car. It's a car dealership company. My homie owns it, man. Shout out East Coast Financing. So I'm doing little commercials with them, and he respects my creativity and the integrity behind it of what I do. So he knows that he don't want me to be like, come on down, get a camera. You know what I mean? He knows, like, you be Pat, man, and let's do it. And I was interested, and he's a really good guy. He runs a great business, and I was like, man, this would be really fun. And so I have fun doing them. I don't do them in a corny way. I do them in a creative way that no matter what, I can look back and be like, that was funny. I enjoyed doing that. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I can still be myself, I'll do commercials and shit.
And that's why I think you, like Pat Stay, as a person, as a personality, as a entity, you can be the biggest thing is people think about fucking battle rap, like, oh, battle rap. Like a lot of people don't know is like all these people are so much bigger than that and have so much more going for them than that. And just like if you think about famous people from Nova Scotia, you're probably within like the top 5, at least in like, you know what I mean? And that's why, like, you also have the Unreasonable Rob. Sorry about the angry Rob earlier, but what, like, you've always been hilarious in your battles and had the comedy side. And is that kind of what, like, you were just like, I want to do something that shows the comedic side more than just the rhyming part? Like, what sparked you to do all these amazing, funny things?
Before rap, or around when I first started rapping, anyways. But before rap, really. I always dreamed to have a video team with me because I always thought of skits and funny ideas. And it's like me and my friend Nick Luscombe, who goes by Triple X, or it's Luscombe Beats or whatever. And I don't know what it is on Instagram, but anyway, huge producer now. And we used to always think of skits all the time and always say, man, if we just had a video team around us and blah, blah, blah. But back then, like, even getting a music video done, you needed like a grant, which would be like $25,000 or more. So there's no way we were going to get a video team just to follow us. But, as you get older, all you really need is like a decent camera, sometimes even just a phone. Most people just use a phone. So it was really just being like, man, I have people that are willing to record. And I have all these ideas. I just want to put them to light. I'm always joking. I'm a very humorous person. Everyone likes to laugh. So let's use my fucked up sense of humor and my resources and put something together. And that's really how Unreasonable Rob came, man. Like just testing waters and doing things like naturally and not too rehearsed, and just really having fun and laughing, man. That's what I love to do the most, man. Who doesn't?
100%, bro. And like, yeah, and that's like I've been so happy as a fan, just to let you know on that other side of it too. It's so cool to see, like, because like I've as a fan, we've always known how funny you are and how much of a genius you are. Just sort of see that put in a different facet other than rap or battle rap is awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Um, and speaking about Nova Scotia, man, you brought. I want to know how you came to have these huge battles with Marlo, Shuffle T, and Roan. Bring it to Nova Scotia, and I think you also had Avocado film it too.
Yeah.
So how did that come to be, man?
Well, I mean, the compliment battle, the first one was such a success that, you know what I mean? It was a no-brainer. I just said, yo, like, you guys interested? And they're like, fuck yeah, bro. And Avocado was like, fuck yeah. I mean, the first one was so big that, yeah, who wouldn't want to do the second one? You know what I'm saying? So it went down. Just simple as that, bro. They were interested. And obviously we were super inspired by Marlo and Shuffle. They're two of the greatest ever. And just, you know, we love them, you know what I mean? And we were inspired by their compliment battle. Yeah, so we're like, we really we didn't want to battle anyone else. It had to be them because they were really our inspiration, you know what I mean? And they're the best at it, really. So yeah, so it just came together beautifully, man. Those are great guys, man. I'm gonna be on the show. And what does it sound like? I think in like on the 8th or 9th or something like that.
Oh, sick! I'll tune in. That's crazy to see too. All the legends on that show too. Like
Yeah.
I had Fredo on like a month ago, and I didn't even know that he had an episode yet. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was on that show," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then you see like everybody, all the legends are on it. You know, I love that too. You know, but so I think too upon the compliment battle, what I love too is like a lot of people because that was still at the stage in battle rap where it was a lot of like super homophobic stuff and people always wanted to be alpha and they were too scared to joke around about anything. And I think what it just showed with like you and Roan with your opening scene before the battle. And like, I love that about you guys. It's so funny. And I think it's because I think you guys knew how funny it was and how it was, whereas like a lot of dudes are like, oh, I don't want to ruin my reputation. I want to look tough, you know, but you are already known as a tough guy too. So like, what the fuck are you going to do? But like, do you like did you guys get any flack on that or anybody being like, oh, that's some gay shit or like
Of course, of course, of course. Like, but that's been my sense of humor my whole life. Like, I have joked like in a not in a disrespectful way, but like, you know, I just like to make people feel uncomfortable. And I don't know why I do, but I just always did. I just sometimes like the moment I meet you, I'll say or do something so uncomfortable just to kind of gauge where you and I are going to, whether you or I are going to click or get along for the remaining time that I see you right now. You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Where are you at? And how is your sense of humor? Are we going to get along? And so I've been doing that my whole life. As far as like that stuff in the battle, that's just hilarious to me. That's really, really funny to me. It's lighthearted humor. And if you're like, oh, it's gay, man, blah, 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 it's like, are you getting a boner? Why is this bothering you? It shouldn't bug you. Even if we were like, okay, like I thought it was funny. I think it's really, really funny. That's that type of humor, man. And I wasn't worried about the backlash at all. It was most likely, it was most definitely my most successful battle ever.
and what I'm trying to get at too is because like now, you know, it's year 2021, like obviously like the golden era, quote unquote, for the modern era was like when it was like, you know, you had 2009 to like 2014 is like the era that I love, but it was always when people would end a line, even if the line wasn't good. If they said like a homophobic slur, people would you get reaction just on that. So what I love about you guys doing that in that battle at that time is it aged so much better than a lot of them because that's super, you know what I mean? Like that's so funny. And it's just like, I mean, like, dude, me and my buddies, I have like my close group of friends, we'll hit each other up like, what do you guys want to do tonight? Like, just where should we go for dinner? And it turns into who's gonna fuck who. You know what I mean? And we don't even figure out whether we're gonna go to dinner or not. You know?
That's funny. That's funny. No, I mean, listen, like, if I meet you and I say like a jokey, like sexual thing to you, and you like say something back, then I'll probably never say it again because I'm just like, okay, he's cool, he's not uptight. But if you're like, yo, man, that's fucked up, I'm going to prey on that and I'm going to continue to do it until you're just like, all right, man, like, you know what I mean? I just like loosen up, man, you know, no pun intended or whatever, but like, I don't know. I think just the homophobia in battle rap is it's wearing off a little bit, but sometimes it's still prevalent and like quite embarrassing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, quite embarrassing. It's just kind of like, why do you care, man? Like, I don't fucking give a shit. Like, why? Like, it's I don't
That's
know. People.
that's
It's
why
just,
Kid Twist had such a good take on that because he speaks about writing Bodied and he speak and like how it was kind of his homage to battle rap because he was done, but like it was him showing like all the good and the bad that comes with it. That's what I find in that movie too, right? Because you have like just like everything that's good with battle rap is in it, but then everything that's bad or was bad or you know what I mean, like and it's just like it kind of showed the modernization of it and like the that's what I loved about that movie. The aspect of it was there were so many different things. Like his family didn't accept it, but then his friends also didn't accept it. But then like he
I wish,
found
I wish, man, and I love Kid Twist, of course. I would never disrespect Kid Twist. I wish that movie was a little different. I wish in the first of all, I wish it was a little shorter. But second of all, I wish that like I wish he didn't win in the end like that because it's just not like I wish it was like a bad scene in the end, not like a cheering for this kid. Well, he wins, you know, like the typical thing. I wish that someone just came through and bodied him and it ended abruptly like that, like just a little because it just seems like I know he knows where I'm coming from, but it would there wasn't enough of the culture in there. You know what I mean? And it was a really great movie. I was honored to be part of it, and I'm still so thankful. Um, I just kind of wish there was a couple tweaks to it because it kind of I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just I wouldn't even want to be like the hero in a movie like that either. I'd rather just get like smoked at the end by like a murder move or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
no, that's a good ending because I think the biggest thing is the thing with that movie is what I'm saying. Like there are great parts to what I said, like the good and the bad, but it is a typical movie. Whereas at the end, that's he prevails. When I get what you mean. If he didn't, it would be that much more interesting of a movie and that much more real of a movie. Because at the end of the day, like a nerdy white kid isn't gonna he's gonna be too scared and he's gonna fucking go away with his tail between his legs, you know, like that's but that's what actually Twist told me too, is like he's like fuck, like they want me to write another battle rap movie but a white battle rapper. like uh but I understood too where Joseph Kahn was coming from with like Kid's Twist perspective in that, you know, because it was kind of like him as a person, you know. um
he should have just got bodied at the end, man, and like and you know, and Kid Twist is a legend, man. He's one of the people that I looked up to as well coming up, man. He had so many like I used to watch him battle. He battled organic. It's like, man, I don't know who he battled when he said this, but he's like, your life's a joke. Like your date of birth was April 1st. I'm like, damn, that's like I was like, that's so great. I used to watch him, man. He's a legend himself, man. Shout out to Kid Twist.
Oh, bro, when he battled Dumbfounded and he said, I ordered gin and this is what I got." Something like that, you know, and I got
Yeah,
a glass of water or something. Yeah. No,
yeah,
Twist is
yeah,
a legend, man.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, to lighten it up a bit because I'm a huge fucking fan of West Coast hip hop, especially like, you know, like
Okay.
90s era.
Cool.
Give me like because like I find a lot of people just think of fucking Death Row, which is amazing. They think of Long Beach, like Crooked Eye and shit. But like, give me your top five, like that people don't like. You know, when you were talking about Trey earlier and shit, you know, like give me like a few people that people should be put on to.
Definitely Trey D from the East Siders. Of course, Spice One.
Mm.
Um, I listen to some of the strangest shit. Like my favorite group is South Central Cartel. It's not strange to me, but people don't even really know who that is. I'm just trying to think of like on which like side. So like, um,
What killed me was when the second Jordan Peele movie came out, Us, and the main song in it was I Got Five on It. And this girl I worked with at the time, I was listening to I Got Five on It in this kitchen I was running. She came in and she said, "Is that the song from Us?" I said, "No, that is the fucking song from Loonies. Put some respect on their goddamn name. Like, it is not a..."
Well, that happens, man. That happens all day. You know, it's just that makes sense, man. I met Loonies, man. We performed together in Sweden. Well, not together, but in the same stage. They performed right before the battles, before or after, I forget. And I remember the singer, he came up to me, he goes, "Are you a bouncer?" I was like, "Nah, man." And he's like, "Oh, you look like a superhero." I laughed so much. I was like, "No, I'm a rapper." And he's like, "Wow." This is, it's really funny. But yeah, I'm all about the underground dudes, man. You know what I mean? And but definitely like tune into Trey D, Spice One, the legends like that. Of course, you're Too Short, you're Snoop, Pac, the regulars, man. But I listen to everyone, anyone and everyone, man.
Yeah, well, and it's just like that's kind of what I was my favorite era was in the 90s, like for all over, because like everybody just had their distinctive sound.
Yeah.
Whereas now there are still different sounds, but like at the end of the day, kind of I feel like everyone's trying to sound like one another in like the main industry. Whereas like back in the day, you could like, when you had like Bone Thugs and Twista battling each other for who's the fastest rapper, and then you had like, I don't know, man, like I have Pop That Pussy with Uncle Luke like as a vinyl record, you know what I mean, like from 2 Live Crew and shit. But like, yeah, I'm like my cat's name is Fife Cat because Fife Dog's my favorite rapper ever,
Nice.
But yeah, bro. Okay, so here we go. This is one of the outro questions. If you were going on a desert island, 3 albums.
3 albums.
So I always like to say it has to feel like, different emotions you're going to go through on that island. You don't want to just bring Onyx. You don't want to just. Yeah.
All right. So South Central Cartel, South Central Madness. That's one album. DMX, Flesh of My Flesh.
Blood of My Blood.
Yeah. And man, I'm trying to think of something that's like impactful. You know what I mean? Something that you listen to that moves you. You know what I mean?
So I always say like this is just me because it's my personal, but the score for me by the Fugees, because there's just so much involved in that record. Like you have singing, you have rapping, you have storytelling. Like,
yeah. Nah, fuck that. I'm still gonna have to go with Tupac. All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, no, and you can, dude. Okay, so here's my thing. I always say, because like obviously it was Nate Dogg, but if me and my friends are having the debates, I always say Tupac has the best choruses of all time. Like if you look at if you think about and just even on All Eyes on Me, because if you think all the Nate Dogg shit, bro, like Thug Passion, you could every single chorus.
I thought you meant like he does the best.
No. I mean the choruses he has on his songs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I think they're unmatched in my eyes, at least, or even with Elton John and shit, like the post era and stuff. One of my favorite videos ever is P. Diddy performing the song with Sting about Biggie, and P. Diddy's dancing all over the stage and Sting's just on the sidelines just singing. It's one of my favorite things ever.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for being on. I know you had a time crunch today, but I would love to maybe have you on in the future and delve in a bit more, if you'd be willing to, because I got a lot of Nova Scotia-esque questions to ask you and stuff too.
I'll come on again.
Of course, man, of course, because 2 of my brothers still live out there, and yeah, man, I always go to Pro Skate Shop when I'm back home, all that shit. Yeah, I grew up there, but I raised in Muskoka and shit. But and yeah, man, having you on, I started this podcast out at the beginning of the year, and I've had on legends in the game. You know what I mean? I've had on Lush One, I've had on Kruger, Nestle, blah blah blah. I could go on for days.
Who's my favorite ever from England?
He's the best, man. His episode best number wise for me ever. And he was me and him talk to this day. Like he hits me up about things we spoke about. Super great person. But I wanted to say is I didn't want to interview you until I had interviews under my belt until I was ready. Cause like to me, you're a get, you know what I mean? I was like one of my biggest goals when doing this was to have you on. And so to have that happen has been very big for me, man, because like, I mean, you know how big of a fan I was. I used to message you 20 times in a day asking about when my sweatshirt's going to arrive in the mail and shit. You'd be like, yo, chill out, man. Chill out.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you too. And thank you so much. You helped me in this video. You know what's funny? My boys made fun of me the other day because I went to school for like film and shit, but I try to like set them up with a picture. They're like, they were like, bro.
What's wrong with you, bro? Look, okay, no, seriously. Take your camera right now, go to the window where the fucking light is, turn the phone the opposite side from it, and look how much natural light you'll get and how great you will. Do it right now while we're live.
See, I thought that it was the opposite way. Oh my God. Wow, that's so much better.
Put it right on the windowsill, literally right. Man, my window's right there. Put it right on the fucking windowsill where you get all the natural light.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, I can't fucking believe this took me so long. I feel like such a piece of shit.
You are a piece of shit.
I am a piece of shit, but that's what makes me me, my buddy. This is my life, not yours. Yo, Pat, thank you so much. We're going to stop the recording. I'm going to thank Pat after. Thank you all for listening. Appreciate it. We'll have Pat on in the future. I'm going to stronghold him and I'm going to message him like I did back in the day. No, I'm just kidding. I will never do that. He's a father, a great one. His kid looks awesome. I love the love you have for your kid, man. And yeah, appreciate you, bro. And listeners, stay tuned. We got another legend coming on next week. Thank you very much.